guys, welcome to week 2 of Books Being Sick. I'm Nick of Books Are Sick. I got like a professional haircut this week for the first time since pre-COVID. I've just been doing like bathroom cuts with my wife, and I'm kind of at like day 3 now, and I haven't showered. You know what I mean? And so it's like a little gnarly, and so yeah, I'll be touching my hair a lot during this entire episode. Just you don't need to know that information, but I just thought I'd let you know. Regardless, it is sunny outside, and it has not. We have not seen blue skies here in I think 2 or 3 weeks. It's been very depressing. I've been upping my vitamin D, but got outside today. Oddly enough, too, it's like the sunniest day we've had in a long time, but it's also the coldest day I think so far in this winter season. So you know what I mean. It's just how it goes. But I hope you're well. Again, thank you for being here. I was just going to do a few quick updates here. I've got some kind of fun stuff to share, sort of, not really. The Stand is the book I'm still currently reading and will probably be forever reading. It is long. I'm on about page 400 and something, I want to say, which you might be thinking like, oh my god, you've been reading this for so long, you're only on page 400. To be honest with you, for the entire stretch of Christmas, like from the 23rd until honestly like January 1st, I barely read anything, like almost nothing. And so, yeah, I'm only on page 400, but we're ramping it up. I read the most I've ever read, actually, I think 2 days ago. I read about 210 pages of it, which felt really, really good. And so, yeah, just absolutely loving this. It's another thing I wanted to mention is this book is really heavy. And so I actually ended up switching over to the Kindle. I have a Kindle. I just don't really use it very much. Here it is here. The only other time I've read a book on the Kindle was The Way of Kings, and it was for the same reason. It was about this time last year. The book was just so heavy that every time I was lying down or like sitting on the couch, it was either like I had to hold it up a bit and my arms were like sore. I sound like such a wimp, you know what I mean? But it's a really heavy book, and so I was like, you know what, maybe I'll switch over to the Kindle. Maybe that'll help me kind of like read more. I don't know, but as I said 2 days ago, I read like 200 some odd pages, and I think that's because of the Kindle. This thing, I forgot how comfortable this is. You know what I mean? I will forever love books and physical books more than like a digital copy. You know what I mean? There's something about just the smell, the feeling, the feel of the pages, just the everything. However, in certain situations like the one I'm currently in, where the book is like actually kind of uncomfortable to hold and read, this has been amazing. And so I'm really happy. This is like kind of I have this because my wife had two, and so she gave me one of hers like a year ago, and I was like, ooh. And so, yeah, feels kind of stupid to have, because like I have this copy of The Stand, I have the copy that I bought forever ago, and now I have the Kindle version as well. And I have a paperback copy that is the original one where all the extra stuff isn't in it. So technically right now I have 4 copies of The Stand. Again, feels very dumb. But anyway, I just thought I'd mention that. Kindle, kind of sick, actually. I don't know what you guys think about the Kindle, but I think it's actually pretty sweet. I'm really enjoying it, and it's helping me get through this book that much better, because I can just kind of sit anywhere, and it's very, very comfortable. The other nice thing about this too that I kind of forgot is lighting doesn't really matter, which is actually such a thing. You know what I mean? I was like sitting on more comfortable sides of my couch that had worse lighting, and it didn't matter. I was like, ooh, haha. I could see this getting addicting. You know what I mean? I could see this thing being pretty addicting. Anyway, that's a weirdly way too long ramble on the Kindle. But I was going to talk about just like a few things, like favorite characters so far in The Stand. I think my favorite journey so far is Nick. He is a deaf mute, which when like just the idea of having a deaf mute character in this sort of situation is very interesting in and of itself. But I really like Nick. I think he's really interesting, and the fact that he is now very, very minor spoiler here, the fact that he is now paired up with another character named Tom who can't read, and the only way that Nick can communicate is through writing down his words. The fact that he's now paired up with someone that can't read what he's trying to say, it's just very like the dynamic of it is very, very fascinating, and I'm really enjoying their journey. Also really loving, like, the Fran and Harold journey. I think is really interesting. I really hate Harold. I don't know if he's gonna have a redemption arc or whatever, but I don't like Harold. I don't like Harold at all. He's really annoying, and I got really bad vibes from him. But maybe he's you never know. You never know. Might have a turnaround. And yeah, just some really great chapters. There's a fantastic chapter, I want to say chapter 38 of this book, that is just such a great look into how Stephen King can make you fall in love with characters so quickly. It's basically, for those that don't know, The Stand is a book about basically a super flu that hits the world and like basically knocks out 99% of the population. And that's not really a spoiler. I believe that's written on the back of the book. And so, yeah, there's this chapter where there's just basically like paragraph that's just following all these different characters that you meet and then they die. It's just like, you get introduced and then he just kind of shows you how they died. You know what I mean? And it's very interesting, and it's again just a really cool look into how Stephen King can really make you fall in love with someone within a paragraph and then be like heartbroken a little bit that quickly. And so yeah, his characters are unbeatable in my opinion, and that chapter 38 was fantastically done. I think just that could have gone on and on for me, I think. So that's my update for The Stand. I was going to also share some other January books that I'm hoping to read. If I do happen to get through The Stand, which I'm going to. You know what? I think with the Kindle, I think I'm now probably going to get through The Stand by 7 days. I'm going to give myself 7 days from now. I'm going to be done. That's like a big, got to read about 10% of the book a day. I think I can do it. I think in 7 days I will be done The Stand. And so I'm going to move on to these kind of reward books that I have here. And I'm just realizing I have like coffees everywhere that are so old. I don't want to tell you how long those coffees have been sitting there. The answer is weeks. The answer is weeks. And I don't shower. I'm kind of gross, actually, maybe. Maybe I'm kind of a gross person. I didn't mean to be, but here I am. So I got these kind of reward books here. And by reward books, I just mean they're shorter books. They're not even really that short, honestly. One of them is. But I'm hoping to get through these after The Stand. The first one here is Bookshops and Bone Dust. This is the follow-up to Legends and Lattes, which I really enjoyed. I really like Legends and Lattes. Just, again, low stakes, cozy fantasy. I'm hoping, I don't know if this is a prequel or a sequel. I believe I read somewhere that this is a prequel, which is fine. I'd like to be like back in the coffee shop if I'm honest, but it's Travis Baldree is really good at this, and I hope he gives us more, because I'm looking forward to getting back into that, just like, just not having to worry, just reading about these characters and being like, I know they're going to be fine. And that's not always what I want, but sometimes it is. And so I think after The Stand, that is what I'm going to want. I also got Into Thin Air. This is probably the longest one of the bunch. This isn't even really that short. It's about 340 pages, 340. This is about a adventure that John Krakauer himself, I want to say, took on Everest. Correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't read it yet, so I don't actually know. And I don't I like going into books as blindly as possible. So I believe that's what this is about. It's an Everest adventure. And from everyone who's read this book, everyone who has read it that's reached out to me has said that it will just totally blow your mind. A lot of people's favorite nonfiction book of all time. So really looking forward to seeing what that's all about. John Krakauer's sick. I really liked Into the Wild. And he has another book called Under the Banner of Heaven, which is, I believe, about Utah and cults or something like that. I don't actually know, but that one's been hard to find. I mean, I know I could get it online, but I really like the adventure of finding books in a store. So I'm gonna wait until I can do that. But anyway, that's the other one. And the last one here is indeed the shortest one of the bunch, and that is The Mist by Stephen King. The Mist movie blew my mind. When I was like 20 or 21 or something like that, my appendix burst, and I went to the hospital. And I was in the hospital, you know? And so because it burst, I was there for like a week, just kind of lying down doing nothing. And I had my laptop with me, and a friend gave me a copy of The Mist that had just came out. And so for at like 1 a.m. in the hospital, I watched The Mist until like 3 a.m. I guess, like that, and it just blew my mind. I was like, this is super scary, and this ending is crazy, and I'm excited to see what the book is all about. It's a really short one. I believe this is like under 200 pages. It's like 150 pages. And people have told me that I will appreciate the ending of the movie so much more when I read the book. So excited to do that. And I got that copy of The Mist from this little box set I have here. It's Stephen King short fiction box set. I saw this a few months ago and had to have it. It's also got Apt Pupil, The Sundog, and The Body in there. So anytime I'm kind of like antsy for a short Stephen King book, I've just been looking in here. Although the only other one I've read in here is The Body, but we'll get to The Sundog and Apt Pupil definitely sometime this year. Moving right along, I was just going to mention the goal I set for myself this year in terms of how many books I want to read. And I set my goal at 50, which I know is like crazy low compared to a lot of other booktubers and book talkers and bookstagrammers. It's like a lot of hashtags. But yeah, so I set my goal at 50 because I want to be realistic. I didn't really get as many books in as I had anticipated this year. I think a big reason for that is because I read a lot of big books this year, and so that's why I'm trying to be realistic about 2024. Is I know I have a lot of big long books that I want to read in 2024, so I'm going to set my goal at 50. I believe this year I read like 43 or something like that. Again, I read a lot of big ones this year, like, you know, for my busiest time of the year is in the summer months, and for during the summer months I decided to read it, 11/22/63, and I started reading The Count of Monte Cristo, which I have up here, and I haven't finished this yet, but I'm about 500 pages in. So I read about 500 pages of The Count of Monte Cristo during the summer as well, and look at how fun that is. I don't know if that'll focus. That's been sitting on my VHS TV, which is right by my window here, and it was flopped open, and you can see where the sun hit and where it didn't, and that's how much I've read. Kind of interesting. This is a really long book. So yeah, again, just trying to be realistic. 50 books is my goal. Wondering what your goal is. You know what I mean? What are you guys thinking? I know some people, I see some of these amazing readers set their goal at like 150. That is mind-blowing to me. I'm so kind of jealous of people that can do that, and I think that's amazing. I wish I had that like stamina or focus or whatever you need to read that much. But yeah, my goal is 50. Some great books that I have lined up for this year. I'm not going to share them now. I'll make another video about the books I intend to read this year. And that's going to be it for week 2 of Books Being Sick. Thank you so much. See you next week. And I love you so much. And goodbye. Bye.